Welcome to Pour the Wine. It's Rom-Com Time, where we'll sip some wine and review all things rom-com on the Hallmark Channel. I'm Amy.
And I'm Gary.
Do you think it's time to pour the wine finally?
It's a Friday and it's time to pour the wine.
It is definitely time to pour the wine.
And
what are we pouring?
We have a El Esteco.
El Esteco. We've never tried this one.
Nope.
So we decided to try it.
Yeah, it's a Cab Sav from Argentina.
Oh.
A 2023.
Oh, excuse you.
Vintage.
And it's got 93 James Suckling points. So we we like to buy wines that he has rated because we watched a masterclass.
Yes, that he was giving, and because he's a sommelier.
Sommelier. Yeah, that's a tough word to say. Sommelier.
It's very good, very interesting.
Yes,
and we learned a lot from it.
Yeah, I think that's the only masterclass we watched in a year of masterclasses. Anywho. Today we're going to be reviewing Signed, Sealed, Delivered for Christmas that aired on November 23rd, 2014. And you can watch it now on Hallmark Plus.
Yes, you can.
Which is where we watched it.
Yes, we did. So let's tell the people why we decided to start reviewing this series.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, when we saw that the latest Signed, Sealed, Delivered movie was going to be on the Hallmark Channel, To the Moon and Back, we realized we'd never seen any of them. Not the series, not the movies. So to prepare for that movie, we watched the pilot movie or the first movie. I'm not sure what they consider it.
Right.
And then we watched the series. There was no way we'd be able to watch all of the movies because there's like, 14 or whatever. So we got that much in before we watched To the Moon and Back.
Right.
And then we liked To the Moon and Back so much, we decided that we were going to go back and watch all the movies in chronological order. Yeah. And somebody on social media was nice enough to give us a list of every movie in order and the series and the pilot movie, everything that aired in order so that we have a list. We have it handy. I don't have to go research it. So thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
You know who you are. And we're going to watch it in order.
Yes.
So there you go. That's why we're watching. That's why we're reviewing. I'm sorry, we've already watched For Christmas. That's why we're reviewing For Christmas. This is the first movie that aired after the pilot movie, then the series, and now it's For Christmas.
Yep. We are going to be adding bonus podcast episodes of each of the SSD movies as we watch them.
We sure are.
Yeah. I know it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
So, people out there, be sure to follow us on your favorite podcast platform and on social media so you don't miss one of our bonus episodes.
Correct. Or any episode.
Yeah. But this one especially.
But the SSD movies especially. Yep.
Yes. So, tell us who's in this one.
All right, here we go.
Take a sip of wine.
Oh, take your sip of wine. You're going to need it.
Yes, I am.
So we always start with the Fab Four, right? The Fab Four Postables.
Yes.
Eric Mabius plays Oliver O'Toole. His Hallmark work goes back to 2012 with How to Fall in Love. The Signed, Sealed, Delivered series ran one season during 2013 to 2014. And what's interesting here is that if you look on IMDb at the listing of the episodes, they have a season 1, episode 0 listed simply as Signed, Sealed, Delivered.
Right.
On the Hallmark Channel website, that's listed as SSD movie number 1 outside of the series. So we've kind of heard Eric say, we're still trying to figure out the discrepancy there.
Right.
Maybe one of the Postables online can help us with that.
Yeah, drop us a line. Sure. Let us know.
Because I've heard Eric even say in interviews that he's not sure which one is what number they're at. Right. Basically, when they go through the movies. Outside of Signed, Sealed, Delivered for Hallmark, he was also in Haul Out the Holly, Lit Up in 2023, and Haul Out the Holly in 2022. And it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas in 2019. Of course, we know and love him from Ugly Betty, where he played Daniel Meade, which aired from 2006 to 2010.
And a totally different
did
character.
I love that show. Oh, such a good show. If you haven't watched it, go watch it.
Yeah, you got me hooked on that one.
It's good. They're half-an-hour episodes.
Yes.
It's so funny. Yes. There's a lot of heart to it.
Quirkiness.
Yes. It's so good. Yes. And he's really good in it. He's really good in it. He was also in 7 episodes of Chicago Fire in 2015, and he was in 2 episodes of Party of 5 with Mrs. Hallmark herself, Lacey Chabert.
Lacey!
He was in Party of Five in 1999.
Oh, yeah.
Kristen Booth plays Shane McInerney. I have a hard time with her last name. I try.
Just call her Shane.
I try. For Hallmark, she has starred in all of the SSD movies and the series. She was in Mystery Island, Winner Takes All in 2025, The Christmas Charade in 2024, and Shifting Gears in 2024. She has also appeared in other work like Cross, 3 episodes in 2024, The Boys.
Okay.
In 2022, she was in 4 episodes of that. And man, is that a wild one.
Yes, it was.
Working Moms, 8 episodes in 2021 to 2022. And she also played Ethel Kennedy in The Kennedys for 8 episodes in 2011. And then she was also in The Kennedys After Camelot, 4 episodes in 2017. That's the one where Katie Holmes played Jackie Kennedy.
Huh. Katie Holmes.
Jan K. Crystal Lowe plays Rita Hayworth. I almost say Rita Hayworth. It's so easy. It wants to roll right off the tongue for Hallmark. She too has been part of the SSD family from the beginning. She's been in a few other movies, The Wish Swap in 2025, which was so cute. Yes. She was really good in that. Which was part of Hallmark's Love-uary this past February, which you like to say. She was in Christmas at Dollywood in 2019 and Flip That Romance in 2019.
Okay.
She was in Christmas at Holly Lodge in 2017 and Marry Me at Christmas. Her first acting credit is 1 episode of Stargate SG-1 in 1997.
I love that series.
And do you know what she is currently in?
What?
The latest Final Destination movie that just dropped. I think it dropped this weekend.
Yeah, I'm not going to see
that
that
in the theaters. One. No, we saw several of them.
Yes.
And we enjoyed them. We have a few of our kids really like them, and they always want to go. And we got invited this year, and we were just, I can't do it. It makes me.
When we watch the trailer, I'm just.
I can't do it. It freaks me out. It freaks me out.
The scenes I can't do is when a person walks out on the street, turns around, starts talking, and then bam, gets hit by a bus.
Yeah,
I hate that.
Yeah,
I hate that scene.
The older I get, the less I can take that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So
I just can't do it.
Yeah.
Sorry, kids.
All right. I'm sure she's great in it. Go see it, people. Go see it. I'm sure it's great, but I just can't stomach that.
Nope.
All right. Jeff Gustafson plays Norman. For Hallmark, he's part of the Fab Four that's been in the SSD family from the beginning. Other films to mention are Season's Greetings from Cherry Lane, where he played a postman.
Yes, he did.
Fitting. He's typecast. That was in 2024. He was in 3 Wise Men and a Baby in 2022, The 27-Hour Day in 2021, and Wedding Every Weekend in 2020. He's also been in Under the Bridge, which was a miniseries, 1 episode in 2024. The series Wilderness, 3 episodes in 2023. Once Upon a Time. 4 episodes between 2012 and 2016. And I find a lot of these actors and actresses have been in Once Upon a Time. That's another one. Kind of like everyone was in Grey's Anatomy and ER back in the day. And
wherever that stepping stone is.
Jeff was also in Bates Motel. He was in 1 episode in 2014. Rob Estes plays Jordan. Okay. His Hallmark projects include an episode of When Calls the Heart in 2019 and Signed, Sealed, Delivered Home Again in 2017. So he comes back in another movie. Ooh, that's going to be good. His most recent work includes The Italians in 2025 and Beautiful Wedding in 2024. He's also been in several series like CSI Cyber and CSI Crime Scene Investigation, 90210, Melrose Place, Silk Stockings, and, of course, he was in Days of Our Lives for 89 episodes from 1986 to 1987. You can really rack up some episodes on soap operas.
Yes, you can.
Because they're daily.
Yep.
Or they were daily. I don't know how many are still airing, but...
Wow.
Marion Ross plays Marion.
Oh.
Big shock. How do you sum up her work? I mean, it's Marion frickin' Ross.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
She has nearly 200 acting credits. Her very first one was in 1953 in the movie Forever Female. She was in so many series and movies. Her last work was a voice in SpongeBob SquarePants. She was in 5 episodes. She voiced in 5 episodes from 2001 to 2024. That can't be right. Okay, sorry about that. In fact, I found actually several other animated series in which she voiced Sylvester and Tweety in 1997, Sylvester. Wild Thornberrys, and Superman.
Good gracious.
She was in one episode of the newest version of The Odd Couple in 2016. She's had lots of guest appearances in an episode: 2.5 Men, Major Crimes, The Middle, Hot in Cleveland, Grey's Anatomy.
There's like Grey's Anatomy again.
And of course, she's best known as Marion Cunningham in 255 episodes of Happy Days.
Happy Days.
From 1974,
Wednesday,
1984. You want to keep singing that while I do the rest of it? You give me the background music.
Background music, yeah.
Sunday, Monday, Happy Days. Ava Talik maybe plays Hannah. She was a little girl in this movie.
Yes.
But she's almost 20 now.
Mm-hmm.
She's been in several Hallmark productions, including Gilded Newport Mysteries, Murder at the Breakers in 2024, My Christmas Family Tree in 2021, Christmas She Wrote in 2020, and Finding Santa in 2017. Some of her other work includes 4 episodes of Happy Face in 2024, an episode of Riverdale in 2018,
there's another good series,
and an episode of, drumroll, Once Upon a Time in 2014.
Man.
Kaj Eric Erickson plays Rob, Hannah's dad. For Hallmark, he was in A Christmas Detour in 2015 and Time After Time in 2011. Some of his other work includes 2 episodes of Virgin River in 2024, 1 episode of The Irrational in 2023, and 17 episodes of The 4400 between 2004 and 2007.
Awesome.
Marcy T. House plays Odette. She has many Hallmark productions, and some of them are Scouting for Christmas in 2024, Christmas in Evergreen, Bells Are Ringing, Cranberry Christmas, 2 Picture Perfect mystery movies, and those were all in 2020.
Wow.
And she was in 5 episodes of Chesapeake Shores in 2019.
There's another one, Chesapeake Shores.
Yep. Mm-hmm. She's done a ton of work, of course, outside of Hallmark. She was in Happy Face, another one who was in Happy. I know, it's like a repeat of some of these. She was in 4 episodes in 2025. She's in 1 episode of the new series Tracker. Yes. She was in Fringe in
another good
2011.
Mm-hmm. Sci-fi.
Mm-hmm. Devil in Ohio for 5 episodes in 2022. And she was in 1 episode in the final season of Party of 5 in 2000.
Wow, Party of 5.
Party of 5. There's another one, right?
Yeah. Who is that it?
Whew, yeah, that's it.
Well, that's a
for now. Well, there were other, actors and actresses, and we're not trying to leave anybody out, but
no, we are not.
Those are the main.
No, it's all good. Mm-hmm. So, is it time to drop the synopsis?
You tell me. You ready for me to drop the synopsis? All right, before I get into the synopsis, I have something to say.
Say it.
I found out something that's very cool.
What's that?
And you and I haven't talked about this. And I didn't know this. The post office has a program called USPS Operation Santa.
Oh.
Want to know what that is? Ask me what that is.
What is that?
The program works like this. They get thousands and thousands of letters of people who write letters to Santa. The post office redacts all the personal information, of course, and you can adopt a letter.
Wow.
And then find the right gift to fulfill a holiday wish.
That is so cool.
How cool is that? I had no idea.
Man.
We have to do that this year.
We will. We have to
do that. So you can shop and ship through something called Santa's Gift Shop. And I don't know if that's will be a link on the USPS website. Or you can shop on their own website. Go to USPSOperationSanta.com for more details. Isn't that cool?
That is.
I thought that was really cool.
Awesome.
And we're going to be doing that this year. I thought that was so cool.
That is
so
cool.
That's in the, in the same vein as this movie. It's kind of cool.
All these years, I've never heard of it.
Me either. And my mother worked for the post office. I had no idea.
I'm surprised your mom didn't talk about it because she was always about Christmas. I know.
She was about Christmas. She was the Christmas served around, which is probably why I am. Anywho, all right, back to the synopsis. Now, this is from the Hallmark website.
Okay.
So it's a little more detailed than what IMDb gives, which I liked. With a duty to deliver every last letter before Christmas, the beloved quartet of post office detectives Oliver, Shane, Rita, and Norman are working around the clock to redirect Santa's mail just as Oliver runs into his former Sunday school teacher, played by Marion Ross. When they receive an emotional last-minute plea, not meant for St. Nick, but instead written to God, they must delay their own travel plans to make sure one little girl doesn't lose her Christmas joy. Something Oliver and Shane are also struggling to find as they each face painful holiday memories. With a little guidance from a mysterious post office volunteer, Jordan, the POstables are more surprised than anyone to discover they've been part of more than one miracle on this Christmas Eve.
Yes.
That's a good synopsis.
That's a very good.
Usually,
very
like IMDb is so short.
Like
so
2 or 3 sentences.
I thought that was a really good. So thank you, Hallmark, for at least having a good description.
Yes, thank you. Well, before we get into it.
Okay, one more thing.
You want some Hallmark trivia?
Sure. Okay. Hit me with some Hallmark trivia that I'm not going to know.
Yeah, you might know this one. In what year did Hallmark Channel debut Countdown to Christmas?
Oh, gosh. I literally, 2000?
You're close. 2009.
2000. So I'm like 9 years. That's not close.
It is close.
That's not close.
You were in the same decade.
That's not close.
You were in the same decade.
You keep thinking within 10, give or take 10 years.
I would have said something totally different. So I would have been
I'm going to start doing that with my
1980,
weight.
1999.
Give or take
I don't know.
20, 30 pounds. It's fine.
Yeah.
We're in the ballpark.
Goodness gracious.
That was good.
So do you want to go first on what do you think? Or do you want me to go first?
You go first. You tell me.
Okay. I don't even know where to begin. All I know is I thought this movie was very, very powerful with its messaging.
I agree.
I mean, I loved everything about the characters, their growth throughout the movie.
Yes.
How fun it was.
Yes.
How romantic it was.
Yes.
How sad it was. And how family vibe-ish, if that's a word.
Family what?
Vibe-ish.
Vibe-ish. Okay, I'm sorry.
I made up a word. I'm sorry.
You said vibe-ish. I thought you said libish. I was like, what? Okay.
Vibe-ish.
Okay, yes, I agree. I agree. All of that.
I know. And what's funny is for some reason I'm drawn to these types of characters. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But I just love it when there's like 4 or 5 of them.
Like working together,
and you got the brainiac, you got the quirkiness, you have the one that has a photographic memory,
the techie one,
yeah. And it reminds me of 2 shows back in 2000, and that was Warehouse 13.
Yes, that was
and
such
The Librarian.
A good show. Yes,
and I know they were sci-fi, but the characters were kind of the same. You had you had people that worked for the CIA, you had the computer whiz, you had a history buff, and they just worked together.
Yeah.
And these characters, the POstables, they gel.
They do.
And that's
right out the gate,
they just gel.
I almost think, I know that we have the background now with the series and and To the Moon and Back. So we kind of, fast forwarded 10 years or whatever. But I feel like you really could watch this movie and really get a good sense of who they all are. You learn their personalities. I felt that way with To the Moon and Back also. So, if you've never seen any of them, you could watch this and find out each of their individual, the 4 POstables, each of their individual personalities, how they work together, what they try to do. I mean, this one's a little bit different because it's Christmas, right? But it's still the same concept.
Yes, it is.
So, and we should say before we go any further,
yes,
we have to say one thing.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Now, in our defense, it has been out for 11 years.
Yes.
So we've been trying to debate. We don't talk about our reviews with one another, but we've been debating about how much to say because it is so powerful. There are some moments that we may not want to give away, but we might accidentally while we're talking. So if you haven't watched it.
Oh, I'm giving them away.
Press pause.
Go watch it.
And then come back
to the podcast.
Press play. Yeah. Yes. Do it right now because we're going to get into it.
Because I just can't help myself.
But yeah, like you were saying, Warehouse 13 and The Librarians, Warehouse 13 was the artifacts that they would find. It's so cool. So go check out those. I really enjoyed those, and I'm not a big sci-fi person, and I loved those. So yeah, I agree.
So what did you think?
What did I think?
Yes.
I think I spoiled it by telling you. Well, we watched it a couple times,
yes.
right? And some scenes I watched several times just because I really liked them.
I know.
They were so powerful. So we've watched it a few times, and, I really, really liked it the first time we watched it. The second viewing, I absolutely loved it because knowing how it ends makes rewatching it even better. You start noticing all these little details.
Right.
And I'm like, how did I miss that? It's right there.
Yep.
Of course, you don't know what you don't know until you know. So, but we've watched it. We'll probably watch it again just because I'm picking up, like every time I watch it again, I pick up something else or I see something else or I notice something. And it's so cool. So even though, it's still early in the franchise, I know it was 11 years ago, but this was, the first movie after the series and everything. The core 4 characters really, really shine here.
Yes, they do.
And I thought the movie struck a perfect balance of funny moments, heartfelt moments, and dramatic moments, all set against like the Christmas backdrop.
Yes.
So it's kind of what you said, so I thought it had it all. So there you go. That's my first take. Whew. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So did you have some favorite scenes?
I did. I had several. We could probably talk about this for 2 hours.
I know.
I had so many things I wanted, but I had to trim it down. So I'll be good.
Okay, be good.
All right. So one of them, of course, the postal ball.
Yes.
At the beginning.
That was cool.
Or towards the beginning. So much happens there. Like the look on Oliver and Norman's face when Shane and Rita walk in.
Yep.
Oliver's jealousy, kind of rears up a little bit. When Oliver and Jordan go back and forth about the origin of the word turf.
Oh, yeah.
And then the other Postables realize that he sort of met his match, in someone.
Yeah, he sure
did. I loved that. I loved the ball.
Yeah, it was
what
pretty
about
good.
you? Do you have several too? We go back and forth, or
you can just say the whole movie.
Okay,
that was my favorite part.
There's so many things I wanted to pick out.
Oh yeah, I have a few here.
Okay, so you.
One of the ones that I liked was when the Postables, when they were looking for the little girl who wrote the letter to God, and they narrowed it down to the one hospital. So in order to locate the little child, they decided to go undercover as carolers.
Oh, yes. That's right? It was, yes.
And that was so funny because Norman in his little briefcase of goodies, the bow ties and the earrings, and it was just so fun. I bet you they had fun with that.
I bet you they did, yes.
They were walking through the halls in the hospital when they come across one of the volunteers with the dog. And they're singing their Christmas songs.
They're singing a Christmas carol.
And the dog, which, by the way... Do you know what the name of the dog is?
I have no idea.
Christmas.
Really?
Yes, I looked it up.
You did?
I looked it up. I wanted to know the name of the dog.
I had no idea.
How fitting is that? Christmas.
The name of the dog is Christmas. Okay.
But anyways, they're singing a Christmas song, and the dog rolls over on his back and is just enjoying it. And they're all looking down at the dog.
That's us at Christmas, by the way. We just love it so much.
Just take it all in, right? But they think the dog is like, the dog doesn't like their
they're
voices.
Singing so bad, yeah.
But the volunteer says, no, that's what he does when he likes music.
He just loves it.
So that was one of my favorites.
I'm so glad you brought that up because that was so cute. We could literally go through the whole movie. You know what I mean? There's something in every scene that's so good.
What was another one of your favorites?
I loved all of the Rita Norman scenes. You really see them making that connection finally with Norman,
I agree 100%.
Every time they ended up under a mistletoe. I loved when Rita was talking to Hannah, the little girl, and she's, making her feel comfortable about wearing glasses. And then Rita talks about the owl story. Yes. And Norman is sitting there and he's just watching her, and you can just feel the adoration oozing out of him because of the way he's looking at Rita. When Rita says she'll bake some more cookies and Norman doesn't want to hurt her feelings, and he goes, oh, yay.
I know.
Like, so it's
every one of those scenes was Just
priceless. When he shoves cookies in his mouth when they're under the mistletoe again. I think that was so he wouldn't, because he wanted to kiss her, but he wouldn't. Is that why that's what I assumed?
He was willing to eat one of them nasty cookies before kissing her.
He didn't just eat one. He shoves a lot in there. So I just, Rita just has this giddy, positive, childlike excitement that's just so adorable and refreshing.
Yes, it is.
And she, and that's to Crystal Lowe's credit, is that she plays it so well. Does. It's like an innocent, slightly naive, but not, has the photographic memory. It's such a great character. I mean, they're all great, but yeah. So, and then Norman is like this odd but quirky and lovable man, and so they're like the perfect match. They're perfectly suited for one another. Yeah. So any scene, I just thought the development of their relationship was so good throughout the whole movie. Yeah.
That was one of my favorites.
So it was just one scene, but a lot.
and I liked when when he had shoved all the cookies in his mouth, and she finally confronted him, and she goes, "Can you tell me the truth? Did you like my cookies?" And what did he say? He said, I don't like the eating part or something like that. Yeah, he said,
I like them except the eating part or something like that. Yeah. They're great.
And she kind of was like, "Oh, okay. Well, thank you for being truthful."
Yeah. She's thank you for she finally being honest with her, Yeah. So that was
that was one of my favorites.
What else for you?
I love the two scenes with Oliver and Jordan when they were talking with each other. The first one being at the DLO when they were playing chess, and the yoo-hoos. Give me. I love that. Funny. I just love that. I forgot about them playing chess. Yes. And the way he holds the bottle it's like he's drinking a beer or something. He's just like, "This is my drink, y'all." Yep. And I like, and you don't know this the first time you watch it. You don't know this, but Jordan is getting Oliver to speak about his marriage and why. Yes. Because Oliver's always putting someone else first, right? He's always helping other people. And in that scene, Jordan gets him to, why did you think your marriage failed? Why do you think you're not worthy of self-love or whatever? And then the scene in the chapel, the hospital.
We're going to talk about that more later. Yeah, just
right. I'm not going to say we'll talk about that. But those two scenes,
for sure,
were brilliant.
For sure.
Whoever wrote this, kudos to you.
It's really, really good. Well, Martha Williamson, I believe she.
So what about you? You got another one?
If I'm wrong about that, please let me know. But I know it's from her creative mind. I believe she wrote it. Yeah. So,
it was delicious.
It's not the premise of the movie, but I love the tradition of them choosing a letter and then the way they open it. Now, in this case, they were given the letter, right? From Jordan, two, right, from Jordan. And I like how they, analyze the outside of the envelope first.
I know,
they look it all over and they try to take in every detail, right, of the envelope before they even open it up, and then they open it up, and I just love that process. Yeah. And I just enjoy that. And I like that I'm sure I'm going to love that in every movie. So
I know, because Norma's like, it's a little girl, probably between the ages of blah, blah,
I know. Blah. Look at the crayon, the color. And it's so good. It's so good.
Yes.
And then like you, I just have the chapel scene, which I know we're going to get to. And then the Oliver Shane scene in the hospital.
Yes.
Downstairs and up, when they were downstairs first and then they go upstairs. Yes. So those, and I know we'll get into a little more detail a little bit later, but do you have anything else?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. For favorite scenes?
Excuse my language.
Oh boy.
But how badass is Oliver when the scene where he's walking, trying to deliver the letter that Jordan gave him, and he's walking behind the old lady that a man is stealing her wallet out of.
Yes.
So he follows this guy to the alley, and then all of a sudden he's taking his jacket off.
He's taking his jacket
off.
Walking
he's
up like, it's going to go one of two ways, brother.
And then the next scene is Oliver putting the wallet back in, only to find out it's Marion, who was his teacher back in his
Sunday school, right?
Yeah.
Or
when he was younger. I think it was Sunday school.
Yeah.
When he was younger.
So that was
one of my favorite scenes too.
Yeah.
Got any more?
Nope. That was, like you said, the whole movie we could go over, but
all right, I have one more.
Okay.
One more. And that's Norman doing his shepherd poses in the mail bar for the pageant.
Oh,
remember?
Yes. It's so good.
Reminded me of Ben Stiller, Zoolander.
Oh,
doing his blue steel.
Yeah, when he does his blue steel look.
My goodness,
I
laughed. That was so fun.
Or when like Oliver, that was really funny. Oliver, when he is ringing the bell, when he takes the place of the guy of the Salvation Army, that was funny too. All right.
Yep. All right. So what about your biggest cheer?
We could do this all day long.
I know.
We could talk about this all day. So for me, it's the general messaging.
Yes.
We see it throughout the entire movie. Mm-hmm. Everything from answered prayers, even if you don't notice it or see it right away, to being kind to yourself, letting yourself off the hook, to what Christmas is all about, to feeling like part of a family, to recognizing and appreciating, what's in front of you. And sometimes I like that they brought up, sometimes not getting an answer is an answer.
Right.
Like when they talked about his wife not sending a letter back. Like, that's your answer. Here's your sign kind of thing.
We all want to keep
So I just, in general, thought the messaging was so good throughout the whole movie. And then, I have notes about the chapel scene and the Oliver stuff. So what about you? What's your biggest cheer?
I loved it when Norman and Rita finally dance.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
That was so fun. But what was interesting is as they're dancing, Norman stops because he notices there's a stocking on the fireplace with his name on it.
Sweet, yeah. And
we'll talk about it in a minute.
And earlier he had said,
"Yeah."
Oh, do you have that later too?
Yeah,
okay. We won't talk about it then. Sorry.
All right.
I take it back. Well, that was it, and then go into the detail. I really, I had some other cheers, like when Oliver decorates the tree in the DLO at the end. He just looks genuinely happy, and he's excited. He's by himself, and he's just decorating the tree. We have to give a shout out to Marion Ross. I mean, so great. I think she's in her 90s now.
Yeah. She's still acting. Good for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that scene too, because before the scene where he's decorating everything.
Right. Well, we're going to go back and.
Right. But there was one more cheer I had, and that's with each of the Postables. They each had this story that they told somebody or that they experienced when they were younger. And then throughout the movie, it came full circle for each one of their stories.
That's exactly right.
The glasses with Rita and the owl. Norman with the stocking without his name, finally gets his name. Shane, family, dad. Letter. And then Oliver, finding his... The tree, right.
Right.
Right. And so... You want to talk about the chapel scene?
Well, I don't even know where to start with that because it's so moving and powerful. And I know we both teared up, and I got literal goosebumps, especially the first time we watched it. I teared up the second time I watched it, and I watched it a third time and still teared up because it's just so good. And, Oliver earlier tells the story about the tree.
Yes. About how when he left, they were on vacation, he left the cabin, came across this tree that was growing out of a rock.
Right.
And there's this man there sitting there decorating it, and he asked if he could help him. That was earlier on in the movie.
Right.
And then in the chapel, you find out what?
Well, in the chapel, so Oliver goes to the chapel because we didn't even really talk about why they're at the hospital.
Right.
A woman is pregnant, and she's, her health is deteriorating, but she's pregnant and she's not conscious and everything. And so the letter that they originally got was from the woman's daughter.
Right.
The woman's daughter had written it to God.
Right.
Right. And, so the woman goes into surgery. So he gets the call that she's in surgery. She might not make it. The baby might not make it, blah, blah, blah. So he comes back to the hospital, and he goes to the chapel.
Yes.
Right. So that's where he goes. And you find out he does that. He did that into the moon and back too. I wonder if that's like a thing.
Might be.
We'll find out. So, so he goes to the chapel, and he's in there, and Jared walks in, and Oliver's already there. And then Jared you know what Jared's last name is, by the way, in this?
No.
Marley.
Oh, really?
You know what I thought of? A Christmas Carol. Bob Marley.
Okay.
Isn't it Marley? Isn't
yes.
That? Okay.
Yeah,
anyway, anywho. So Jared walks in and Jared sits down. He tells a story about, the fourth wise man. Did you know that there was a fourth wise man? He was late getting to Bethlehem, so he missed Mary and Joseph and the newborn baby and the Messiah and everything. And he keeps missing them. But then he realizes, and while he's trying to catch up with them, he stops and helps all these people along the way. And then he realizes, what does he say? Something like that the Messiah was actually in all the faces that he helped along the way, which I thought was really good. Yeah. And then Oliver says something like, if you have done it for the least of these, you have done it for me. Right. And I thought, oh my God.
I know.
Like, that's so powerful, especially now.
Yes, it is.
It's just, ooh. So then that's when, and we've talked about this a little bit earlier, Jordan tells Oliver he's been kind to everyone else but himself, and Christmas is an opportunity to remember that love came down to find you right where you're at. Yeah. You don't have to be perfect. You don't, and this is all about.
Yeah, you don't have to deliver every letter.
Right. It was so, so moving. And then Jordan mentions the rock on the tree at the beach.
Yes. And let me tell you, I got goosebumps.
I know. I'm getting them now talking about it.
I teared up. And when I saw the look on Oliver's face, the tears in his eyes, I was like,
And I have that because
give that man an Oscar.
When you, in that moment, you see the realization in Oliver. Yep. You see it on his face and he doesn't question it.
Nope.
He believes in that moment. He believes. And Eric Mabius should have gotten a freaking Emmy for that.
Yes, he should have.
That scene alone. I mean, it was so powerful and so moving. And when Oliver tears up a little bit, when that realization, and then he kind of knows what he has to do. Yep. And it's just, it was so good. I can't even describe it. It was so good.
It was good.
And really then good. Jordan says, Christmas is a gift, Oliver, but it's your choice whether you accept it.
Yep.
And I'm just like, okay, I'm done. Give me the tissue, like it was so powerful and so good. And the messaging is just, it's everything in this movie. So
that's what I got out of that scene too. It was brilliant. Did you have any jeers?
No. Are we going to talk about the Shane and the?
Oh, yes.
Oliver, we got to talk about.
I forgot. Let's go.
Do you have that in your, no, you.
Yes.
Okay. That you want to talk about that.
You go first.
So Oliver and Shane, what does he confront or what does he talk to her about first in the hallway?
I
can't remember now. It's escaping me.
She was struggling with like wearing the halo for the angel scene in the pageant. She's feeling down and everything, and he still has the letter. And this is right after this scene.
This is the second letter.
Right.
This is not the letter from the little girl, right. But there's another letter. And you see a little girl writing a letter at the very beginning, but you don't see her face. Right. And you presume it's the little girl whose mother is in the hospital.
Correct.
And in the moment that Oliver and Shane are talking, after he's talked to Jordan in the chapel, right? He goes to Shane. He realizes that the letter that Jordan has given him
is a letter from
Shane.
Yes.
In that moment.
Another surprise.
Right. And so, that's where he goes into this very powerful monologue, first of all, he calls her Shane. She starts to walk away and he says, Shane.
Yes.
And then you're like, again, goosebumps because he doesn't call her that. Nope. He calls her Miss McInerney.
McInerney, yes.
McInerney. Yeah. I was like, are you going to make me say the last name? I'm terrible at it.
I know. I'm sorry about that.
You're going to make me do it. But that's when he goes into, he talks about how, we've all lost someone we love in this world. Someone says Happy Christmas can make it hurt all over again if we don't let Christmas do what it's supposed to do. And I almost cry because we love Christmas so much.
We do.
And it's like, and I know for a lot of people, it's not a happy time. It's a sad time. it's a depressing time for so many people. And I understand that, but you just want to hug them and say, let it in, let the light shine in. And, he goes on to say, that she has met her family. Like she missed her dad, but now she has a family. She has a sister now in Rita. She has a brother now in Norman. And then he calls himself an odd fellow who loves words and books, which I thought was funny. So, and then he said, I have learned how to hold firm in a storm by trusting that the one thing I love in this world will never let go of me.
No.
Perfect love, God, meaning God. And I was just like, oh my God, I can't take it.
I know. Goosebumps again.
And he said, hope is what you asked for every Christmas, and you were given it.
Yeah.
And you have a choice. So, and then Shane kind of has her own epiphany, and you know, she tears up and kisses him on the cheek, and then they go off and we're a mess and we're good.
Right. And then the pageant happens.
Which we haven't mentioned.
And they don't have a baby, Jesus. But later on, the lady has the baby. She's fine. The baby's fine. And the dad rolls the baby in. Yeah. And that's the baby Jesus. Yeah. Oh. Wow. Okay. But did you have any jeers?
Did I have any jeers? The only jeer that I have is I did not like the song at the end.
I don't remember.
I did. When he walks into the DLO and it's all lit up in candles, I love the music at first. He walks in. I was so moved by the music. He walks in and it's lit, and everything. And then he sees the tree. Mm-hmm. The tree is there with a little note on it. And he decorates the tree. I did not like the song. It was I'm sorry to the artist who it is. But so if I had to pick a jeer, that would be the only one. And that's not even really a bad jeer, but that's just a personal thing. What about you? Did you have any jeers?
Well, it was going to be a jeer. And it was when Norman, Rita, and Shane leave Oliver at the hospital to go on their vacation or whatever.
No, they were going home to see their families.
Yeah, to see their family. Well, Shane was going to go have a hot tub moment.
Oh, yeah.
But later on, you find out that they come back when Oliver is decorating the tree in the office. And I was so mad and hurt because he's walking the street and you don't realize what he's doing. You don't
know what he's doing. Right.
But then you find out he's trying to find a cab.
He's trying to find a lost necklace is what he's trying to do.
One of the cab drivers. Yeah. In exchange for the
I didn't know you were sitting there all mad and stuff.
Yeah, I was like, they left him. How could they leave him?
How could they leave him? Poor Oliver.
Because he looks sad.
And then they all show up. So, it was good. It was, yes.
So you have anything else?
No, by the ways. I have a lot, but we're going on.
Yeah, we're long into this one, right?
We're long-winded on this one. We apologize.
Yes, we apologize. Right. But
so out of now, I have to even ask. Out of 5 corks, 10. How many corks? 10.
Yes.
It's so funny you said that because I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, 10. Well, I would rate it 100 cork. Yeah. So I'm going to say 5.
I love this.
It was so good. It was so good. I'm looking forward to the other movies and seeing where the characters go.
Yeah.
So, we know how To the Moon and Back is, and it's going to be great to see the evolution of them. So.
I know. I can't wait. Looking forward to it. So is that a wrap?
That's a wrap.
Well, thanks for listening. Be sure to follow the podcast wherever you listen so you don't miss one. Also, follow us on social media. We'd love to have you leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
Word.
Hopefully it's a positive review.
We'd really appreciate it.
Yes.
Positive review or some feedback, and talk to us on social media.
Yes. We'd like to talk to you.
Let us know what you'd like us to watch. Maybe after we're done with all 13 more movies, we can throw in some other bonus episodes of things.
Let us know.
Let us know.
I'd love to go back and see it.
Yeah, and I know we're going to be watching For Christmas Again. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Join us Wednesdays for new episodes reviewing Hallmark movies, and on Tuesdays for our recaps and reviews of Hallmark series. We'll also be dropping bonus episodes of the Signed, Sealed, Delivered movies.
Yes, we will.
Follow us on social media and wherever you podcast so you don't miss an episode.
Don't miss it.
Until then, fill up your glasses and push play. Thanks for listening. Cheers.